Keep the good times poppin', pop, pop, pop.
That this set is modular was a real shock, and it really helps the thing along. It just explains why there's weird green blocks places and a whole bunch of doors.
Yes.
But it explains, it does not excuse. Hey there, good timers. Defensibility check on 6097 Night Lord's Castle. Very exciting. Wow, there's death skulls and skeletons. Like there's even a skeleton with a spear. He's like guarding the place.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like they practice necromancy.
100%. These are necromancers.
Very, very evil.
And astrologers. With the telescope up there.
Extremely bad guys.
Yes.
Even if they're goofy.
The color palette is interesting. The yellow and red remind me of both Shell gas stations and McDonald's.
But of course.
And
they use dark and light gray
and
as well as black. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. And are they using Crusader colors for the flags? That's what it looks like.
That is what it looks like. The Crusaders were not necromancers. I can tell you that much.
Some confusing placement of halberds here.
Yeah.
Like they were just so excited about the halberd piece, they had just throw it everywhere. And some tool racks, like some Lego Town, Lego City tool racks. Very interesting.
Yes. You know, it just dawned on me.
Mm-hmm.
While talking with Mother about this, she was like, you know, one of these things looks kind of like an altar. And then I was like, oh, snap. Just a little bit ago. This is kind of eerie. Because you got the spittoons that make me think of holy water fonts. You got the yellow rails, which makes me think of communion rails. You've got the tall tower, which makes me think of a steeple. I'm like, is this some kind of creepy dark cathedral?
Oh, man. That would be about the freakiest. That'd be kind of inappropriate.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. That'd be very offensive in a different way.
Do you suppose that's what they were going for?
I'm not really sure. No, they were going for Gothic, for sure. For sure.
Well, without further ado, let's dive in. Accessibility. We have an inaccessible second level, an inaccessible third level, an inaccessible fourth level, an inaccessible fifth level, an inaccessible sixth level, an inaccessible seventh level, and an inaccessible eighth level.
Wow.
What even?
A full 8 floors of total inaccessibility. Like, you can hardly even argue that the dragon could get up there. Like, the witch would have a tough time with how small these doorways are, even if she flies on her evil broomstick. Further, we have a chronic lack of roofs and walls. There's a lot of places where the roofs would either not do much or are not present. And, of course, many places, so you can get your fingers in where there is just no wall. Open to attack.
The arrow loops are too high. Again, problem with the piece. Though this one, it looks like it only features 2 arrow loops.
Not enough. Lots of windows.
Yes. We have an incomplete circuit. Unfortunately, you cannot walk all the way around.
And there is a fireplace, a very nice fireplace, but no chimney.
So it's going to get very hot and very smoky.
Except that they have no roofs or walls, so
that is a fair
make
point.
it super
that
inefficient.
Point.
Very inefficient. Yeah.
We do have a studio, if you can call it that, a room for their dark sorcery.
A studio, so to speak. You could consider the random pikes and spears, etc., all around an armory. That's good. That's good.
You could consider it that.
There is the fireplace.
The fireplace is
that
there.
we had mentioned before, and some living quarters. There's lots of rooms in that inaccessible tower. The silly-looking, kind of stupid tower.
We have a jail cell, and it is lockable with that chain up there.
Very cool. Very cool.
Accessibility. -12, +6. Net, -6.
Whew.
That is insane. On to defensibility.
There are doors all over and apertures through which projectiles may be hurled upon the defenders, with the defenders having little hope of hurling back. There are holes. So there's small gates on the sides, doors on the sides, windows, and the main gate, which is just a grate. It's just a grate.
The crenellations are too short, as well as the walls. Or rather, the merlons and crenelles.
Both too short. There are blind spots, some corners where you can't really see out of. The window placement could certainly be better.
The tower is ridiculously tall, which means you're going to have a great line of sight all around this here castle. And, I mean, it's in a pretty well-placed spot. I mean, it'd be hard to place it anywhere bad when it's this tall.
You've got your telescope. That increases visibility, I'm sure.
It can only look horizontally. That is the furthest down it can look because it's on that hinge.
Yes, but I think you could take it off the stand.
Really?
I would imagine so. It'd be a little difficult to clip into your minifigure hands, but I think you could.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Spyglass.
Yeah.
Once again, showing science is evil.
We do have a portcullis.
Your portcullis is just bottom grade.
An offensive defense skeleton. And an offensive defense skull.
That's a very scary skull.
Indicative of their necromancy.
Yeah, so that super scary crystal ball skull consulting the dead, I think it's just indicative of the overall terror that this place invokes, as well as bats all over the sky and scary cliffs, faces with faces. Yeah, just very scary. And I think all of that together adds to defensibility. No one wants to come near you at all.
Defensibility, -5, +4, net, -1. On to offensibility. We have no functioning machicolations, though there could be a few that are suggested, and we have a minimal number of arrow loops.
Your arrows are useless.
Very sad. Just windows, that's all we get. No arrow loops. There is a trap door. Very cool, very
Boogie
cool.
boogie.
Yeah. And a murder hole. That cauldron full of hot rocks can
Don't they use those for massages?
deter. Yes. It's for their evil bat sauna. Yeah. Or their evil bat sweat lodge. There's so many uses for hot rocks. Yeah, to drop upon folks. And
A dragon.
there is a dragon. Very cool. The scary black dragon, too.
Dragon.
Dragon!
Offensibility. -2, +4, net 2. As of right now, our initial total is -5. Let's take a look at some of those auxiliary graces.
There is a witch.
There is a witch.
The evil necromancer lady. Very
Yes.
evil.
We have an inadequate garrison, however.
Super inadequate.
Super inadequate. Our final total is -5. This castle does not pass. It's offensive in a whole different respect.
As we had spoken before, there was an undermining of, I would dare say, innocence in the 1990s in normalization of the grotesque and the taking off of the dark and the evil during Halloween. It spiked in popularity, and kids' shows began to include the occult, the grotesque.
90s metal and grunge bands, of course. In many ways, looking back at the 90s, you see a lot more satanic bands. That's, I think, when they really started to pop up. I'm sure that you can find traces of that with Marilyn Manson and Ozzy Osbourne earlier, but think the 90s is when that really started to get normalized and popularized.
Normalized is the key. Yeah, it existed beforehand,
Yeah.
as insanity and evil things always have existed, of course. Nothing new under the sun. But when they're normalized, it's a whole different ballgame. And normalized in the world of Lego? That's disappointing. Now, do we hate the Fright Nights? As mentioned before, no. They're kind of good bad guys. Very goofy, very evil.
So there you have it.
Night Lord's Castle.